Hey guys, hope you're having a great day. I am Daniel P. Riley of whimsyland.org, literary coaching and services, the Iron Sage of Iron Age Nights, the IAK podcast, one of the co hosts on Friday night on A Drink with Crazy Live. A topic that constantly comes up on social media creator circles is consistency. And it doesn't generally present itself in such a way, but more of a how do I get myself to write this thing that I want to write? The story's there in my head, but when I sit down to write, the words don't come. It's a constant frustration for a lot of us. And something I learned over the years of doing this is that we are creatures of patterns and routines. Pardon me, still recovering from being sick. As creatures of patterns and routines, we don't even think about the repetitive actions of our day. They just come natural to us, like muscle memory. There's always talk about the age old phrase like riding a bicycle, or for example, um, baseball players who've played for years and then take some time off or retire or something, and then get back into the batter's box. And after a little bit of practice, suddenly their swing goes right back to the exact format of how they performed during their career. These routines are embedded inside of us. And with just a little bit of personal tweaking, you can create a routine for yourself that will inspire you and motivate you to write or to create or draw or paint, whatever it is that you do. I call it the mood machine because oftentimes the way everyone presents this concept is whether or not they're in the mood. Now, consistency in and of itself is not about moods, it's about dedication. A mood sort of performs like a big leap from one place to another. Dedication presents itself more like small hops to the goal, constant small hops to the goal. Moods have a tendency to sort of do the big leap and then a slightly bigger leap and then a not so big leap and then like maybe a step and then there's a flat line that happens. That's because excitement is what's driving you in that moment. It's exciting, but once you get into the nitty gritty of it, it becomes less and less exciting. It's more like work, less like fun. Consistency and dedication is metering that excitement and fun over small, repetitive jaunts, for lack of a better word. The way I like to do it, which I wanted to share with you guys today, is to dedicate 5 days a week. Of those 5 days, we'll say it follows the work week. So a Monday through Friday work week. Weekends off, Saturday and Sunday. You don't write if you don't want to. But for those 5 days, I like to dedicate 1 hour. And it's usually the very same hour, maybe right after dinner, maybe first thing in the morning. It depends on when you have your free time and when you like to work on your project the most. But you pick an hour. There's 24, 8 of which I hope you're sleeping, 6 at the very least. So we'll say, if my math is correct, 16 to 18 hours left No, 8 of those are work, maybe an hour to 2 hours of travel, so you've got 6 to 8 hours of free time dedicated to other things, and I imagine everybody's very busy. I know I am. I was a single father. I had to do all of the chores around the house, plus work, plus finish going to school, and satisfy the needs of my daughter, and you know, the list kept going on and on and on, and it always felt like I never had enough time to get anything done. It's a feeling, it's not a fact. But once I started really thinking about this, started really understanding my mood machine, I was able to find that hour. Once I found that hour, then I had to figure out how to make myself want to do it during that hour and not just sit here in front of the screen and go, you know what I'm saying? So step one is always get rid of the distractions. For that 1 hour, very, very difficult for those of us who have kids, but for that 1 hour, try to make sure that you are not distracted. Everyone in your house knows that that 1 hour is for you to get a little bit of writing done. Leave your phone in the other room. Turn off the messengers. Don't go on TwiX or Facebook or Instagram or whatever. You know, just you and the story. Just you and the page. Nothing else. That's always the first step. The second step I found is that an unsung hero of the creative process is surprisingly physical exertion. And this goes back to that muscle memory that we were talking about before. There's a wonderful switch that happens in our brains during physical exertion where the conscious mind turns off and the subconscious automatic muscle memory kicks in. And you're not thinking about whether or not you're jogging or lifting weights. Um, you're not thinking about what you're going to do afterwards. There's a point in the exercise cycle where the brain slows itself down and switches over to an autonomous mode where it just gets into the rhythm of it, the routine of it, the pattern of it. And during that time, your mind has the opportunity to process all the things that it's been holding off on processing. If you think about it like a computer, you're freeing RAM, turning off all of these other little programs that have been occupying your mind's drive. After that's happened, you get all this free space. The computer's running smooth. It's full of clarity and focus. And clarity and focus is what you want during the creative process of writing. So then, naturally, the next step is to make sure that your focus is directed just on that creative endeavor. Like you're not thinking when you get finished going for a jog or a walk, you're not thinking, okay, well, now I'm going to do house repairs, because then your mind just goes, house repairs? Here's all the ways that we can improve things. No, you want to be thinking, now that I'm finished my jog or my walk or my reps, I'm going to sit down and write my story. And then your mind sharpens onto, okay, here's all those files that we've imagined over the last weeks, months, years, however long you've been thinking about this thing. Here are all those files. Now we're going to format them. And it's right there, in the front of your brain. figuratively speaking. I have always found that my mood machine works on the routine of consistently sitting down to write at the same time each day. A clarity walk, and my musical playlist, because I dream the most vivid when I'm listening to music. Not necessarily music with lyrics, though sometimes it happens. Most of the time it's instrumental. But those three things I figured out are my triggers that get me into the writing mood. And if I can tap into those three things before I sit down to write, I just go. I mean, you can take a look back at the old videos I did with the freelancer and watch. There's no chill. Like I say, it's time to write, and then I put the music on and we're going. The fingers are flying across the keyboard. That's because before the show, I set myself up with those triggers and focused my mind on the singular task of working on my story. And you can do it too. You just got to figure out what your steps are. What are the things that work best for you? What exercise clears your mind? What time of day is the best day for you to write? The best time for you to write? And what inspires your story? You can combine them. I finally, in like, I guess the Super Saiyan form of what I've been doing all these years, is that I turn my mind off during my exercise, during my walk, and solely imagine through listening to the music while I'm exercising, while I'm walking, listening to the music and focusing my mind on the story all at the same time. And just like that, I'm ready to sit down and I'm ready to write. I'm ready to create. The vision is there. I just have to put it on the paper. And I hope that when you find your mood machine, you can do it too. Now go be great.